news from Paris has ignited a backlash against Syrian refugees settling in the United States. More than 2,100 Syrians have already come here, and now half the country's governors say they do not want Syrian refugees allowed in their states, and there are moves in Congress to block President Obama's plan to admit more refugees. ABC's John Carl has that story from the White House. Good morning, John.
Good morning, George. The fact that one of the Paris attackers apparently got into France by pretending to be a refugee has sparked strong opposition to the president's plan to bring more Syrian refugees here to the United States.
At a press conference in Turkey, President Obama said the United States has a moral responsibility to take in some of those Syrians fleeing the violence in their country.
The people who are fleeing Syria, they are the most vulnerable as a consequence of civil war and strife.
The president has called for increasing the number of Syrian refugees allowed into the United States from 1,600 last year to up to 10,000 this year. But more than 24 governors are now saying the refugees are not welcome in their states.
We don't want to become like Europe, where they let all these refugees in.
We're going to do all within our power, all that's humanly possible, to resist these Syrian refugees that are being forced upon us.
Most of the Republican presidential candidates agree.
Anyone with an ounce of common sense would say no. We should be resettling them humanely in Middle Eastern countries that are majority Muslim.
So they go and they fight for ISIS, they come back into our country, and we accept them back. And at some point, they won't be going away. They'll be shooting us here.
Jeb Bush says some Syrian refugees should be allowed, with a priority given to Christians.
They're being slaughtered in the country, and but for us, who would take care of the number of Christians that right now are completely displaced?
The president disagrees.
That's not American. It's not who we are. We don't have religious tests to our compassion.
The Obama administration says there is no reason to fear the Syrian refugees that are coming into the United States, saying that they are some of the most vetted and scrutinized people entering the country. And, George, they also point out that more than 3/4 of the Syrian refugees coming here are women and children. Robin?
All right, John, thank you very much.
Victims of violence.
Yes.